Hey everyone, happy Friday. Everyone who reads it must converse is the channel. You know it if you're here. This is what I do every Friday night. What a week. It's been so fun this week. Booktube's been crazy. The reading has been off the charts awesome. I mean, it's just been great. The book hunting's been great. I watched a great movie again. And Ryan and my buddy Arona finally got over, and it was my fault. Not I say finally like it's his. But I've been feeling under the weather. Hey, yeah, TGIF, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, PG, I ain't finna read that. Happy Friday, brother. For sure. Conrob in the house. Connor, what's up, brother? So I wasn't feeling too good and it was just my throat. It was just vocal. So it really put a damper on doing any kind of content where I'm going to be speaking or anything like that. I tried to share something interesting in lieu of making some content of my own. And then it's just been days. It was days getting over that of my throat. So Ryan made it out here. We did an impromptu recording. We had been talking about it even then for over 2 weeks, you know. So got out there. It's really a great discussion for the series that we're doing called Director's Nut. And we have decided, I mean, I've decided I'm gonna start another channel and have another channel just for that. And I'm not gonna tie it to this in any kind of way. I don't want that kind of, I want this content to be straight books and storytelling is fine. And I do have some movie content on my channel. I covered every what is that movie? Charlie Kaufman. It was I'm thinking of ending things. And that was a fun exploration. But I don't want to get that kind of content usually, right? That's what I'm talking about, Tyler. I talked about it last Friday and now the drama has reached a fever pitch, right? Um I'm actually going to address it a little bit if I may when it comes down to it. I don't care. But I do see a lack of understanding of these grown ass men that are on BookTube, um, and just where this is going and where this has gotten. Happy Friday, Tyler, for sure. Hey, Trish, happy Friday. What a week indeed. You moved your daughter to college this week. Well, congratulations to her. And I know it's a trying time, but you're awesome. So hopefully, wonderful memories, right? For sure. Happy Saturday for you. Ooh, um, we go worldwide here. So, whenever you might be enjoying, please leave a comment. Even watching afterwards and all that kind of stuff, comment so that I can know what kind of conversation people resonated with, what they liked, what they thought about different things. A lot of people watch the lives and don't comment on the video. It's fine if you don't. I don't care. But I do like the interaction more than anything is what it comes down to. A Heat 2 crossover event. I will. I will talk about Heat. I will talk about Heat. And I don't have a lot of hope for a sequel, but why bring it back if you're not going to do it right? For real. You know? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Connor. Nick Voro in the house. Happy Friday. For sure. What's up, Quentin? Happy Friday, brother. Nice to see you. Ah, yeah, not much time for reading. Sorry to hear that. My job has afforded me a lot more time to read, especially if I'm going to do audiobooks. But I can't sustain a long time listening to audiobooks. So I just want to, I just dip in, maybe do an hour, maybe 2 hours, something like that, and then I have to, kind of take a break and process a bit of what it is. I can't just keep going. At least not with the Tales of Genji. With the Tales of Genji, we'll start there. Thank you, Quentin, for being in the read. Tales of Genji is so freaking beautiful and fun. So I'm in I wasn't able to get into it hardly at all today, Quentin, to tell you the truth. I'm starting chapter 23. That puts me page 500 in my edition and not yet halfway through the book. I mean, wow, right? 500 pages, not halfway, and I'm enjoying every single moment of this. It's freaking beautiful. Hey, Emily, nice to see you. Thank you for saying hi, so that then you can be acknowledged. I love the people who support the channel. So everyone, of course, say hey. And hey, Jesse reads and meditates. Happy Friday. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming by always. Yeah, Fit to be Read. I wanted to say something about Fit to be Read's awesome content. Brother. I don't know how you have the time to put together and to really think enough to put these compilation videos together. Greatest sci-fi, greatest classic sci-fi, these kind of things. Um, if y'all are not following Fit to be Read, go. It's it's too cool, bro. I love it. Thank you very much for it. And man, what would booktube be without you, right? Everybody brings their own brand to the channel, their own way of doing it. We need it. We need it. You know what? I do need to process that Kawabata. So Quentin is a big um Yasunari Kawabata fan. And so when I went out to book hunt um over the weekend, I of course was had an eye out for Kawabata. And this is all I found. This is the only thing that I found. And I showed it in an Instagram reel. And Quentin said it's his favorite. What a beauty, right? Hey, Seth. Happy Friday, bro. Thanks for coming by. It's a beauty. Um, it sounds great. After the Genji, I'm totally down, bro. I'll go right into it. Oh, Quentin's ahead of me. He's stayed ahead of me this whole read so far. Just crossed halfway. Right on, bro. Halfway through the Genji. Man, what an epic it is. And it is there's a lot of sadness. I guess it really shows that no matter what your station in life, happiness is not assured to you. That kind of thing is very, very striking in the place that I'm at with Genji right now. We'll see. I can't wait to see where it goes, where, what Genji's arc is, where the story really, ends up with Genji. Thanks, Rooftop. Happy Friday. My favorite part of Friday night, hanging out with y'all too. I mean, it's freaking great. And anything that makes gives you a little change. Gives you a way to change it up. That's what it's a beautiful thing. For sure, brother. For sure, brother. I don't know how you have the time to put it together, to tell you the truth. It's just, and it's cool. It's super cool. I always love to watch your stuff. I just like kind of save it so I can watch it. I don't let it go off my notifications. Very cool. There is nothing unclean in a masterpiece, right? Nice. Very cool. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, very, very welcome here. Nice. See, Connor is in the Cactus Boots read, which is going great. But Cactus Boots is something that you kind of acclimate yourself to it for 30, 40 pages. Then at like 100 it starts picking up and you're like, what's going on? And then it breaks your brain open. it breaks your brain open pretty quick, and you're just like, whoa, now it's, this is completely meta, you know, it's indescribable. Something that is a literary device that is um, done better nowhere else, as far as I know. So we'll talk about it. I want to get to it. But once you're through that, once you reach that part with cactus boots, then it's fast and it's off to the races. The whole rest of the book. I never let up on it. I never stopped on it my first read. This read, I'm trying to take my time with it, and I'm about now. Um, let's see. Well, let's see. Oh yeah, I got to part two, and that is page 200. Let's see. I pulled my bookmark out to freaking hold a spot, right? So part two is 197. That's what it is. Um Part one is a lot of build, but then at the end it gives you a taste of what's to come. Knowing what's coming up with Cactus Boots, it's really fun to read it and then to go in through it with others. Getting through the exposition at the beginning is one of those things. We're going to we're going to definitely get to it. All right, we'll talk about it later. In a little bit, at least. Let's talk about Genji a little bit. Is Tale of Genji generally taught in universities? I don't know. I don't know if it's taught in universities in any way. It definitely should be taught in university, as far as um, just if somebody's focused on literature and things like that. But even history. This book has such a you can feel the cultural um, influence it had on Japan as a whole. The Japan of today, you know. Hey, Book Nick, happy Friday, brother. Nice to see you. So, even historically, you would want to, it intersects a lot of different ways of approaching, just a lot of different schools of thought. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm sure it's taught. I mean, it has to be taught, but and also for a lot of different reasons, right? Yeah. Uh, Rooftop, don't we all? Yeah, I get a lot of books, and now I'm really at a point where I'm not trying to buy books unless I'm really wanting to read them soon. I don't buy books just to hold on to them. So my book buying has slowed up a lot through the summer here, and then but this last week I did have really nice haul, so I'll just kind of sprinkle those in as we go, and I'll show another one right now. I'd like to read Genji, provided I have time to read again. Life get in the way, that's for sure. Us readers have to be vigilant. We have to be vigilant. Make time for it, right? Yeah, yeah. I mean, always be taught, because the cultural influence is vast, just epic. Odyssey is fun and thrilling, for sure. I love the Odyssey. Yeah, it does require patience, but it's beautiful. It's just so it is phenomenal. It's beautiful because it's um there's so much poetry, and there's so much, and a lot of it is the set, the scene, the setting. You get a sense that you're in like a utopia, some kind of idyllic world. There's not hardly any conflict ever. The conflict is internal. It's the conflict of, it's the game of love, and everybody's playing, and Genji is the king. It's ridiculous. It's amazing. Completely amazing. Nice. I mean, it definitely, as a novel, as a literary document, a literary work, Genji is unlike anything else that I've read. I get a sense that, if it's like anything, maybe, something structurally like a Don Quixote or something, but more setting, and you really get, mm, you don't get a lot of internal dialogue from Genji. You don't get a lot of Genji's words a lot of times, except for in poetry, this kind of thing. Yet you just learn, or you feel so like you're, akin to Genji. You're going along, and I guess it's the whether you can touch how deep. Genji is just a lover. There's so much of this that is just like the exposition of being a lover and the sorrows that all come with that, because you can't love everybody, right? And Genji definitely tries to love everybody. Oh, it's wild. Yes. God, I love 25-cent books. You can't beat it. Can't beat it. So I found an amazing deal. Just a friend on Instagram that, you know, I just followed. My Bookish Hedge Maze is the account. Her name is Sarah. She's just a bookish content creator on Instagram. She put a post up that she was letting go of two of her books. She had found an omnibus edition, so she let go of two of her books and said, "Just make me an offer." So I made her an offer, and I grabbed them really quick, and I got At Swim Two Birds by Flann O'Brien, introduction by William Gass, and this here is the Dalkey Archive edition, unread. Well, maybe not unread. She's a very careful reader, as I am. Doesn't break the spine and things like that. So I think she said she did read it, but she was just very careful with it. So I can respect that. I'm like that with my books, right? I'll read them, and at the end, they're going to look pretty much the same that they do now. I'm not going to break this beautiful. But I got the third Policeman as well. To Flann O'Brien, she got had found an omnibus edition of Flann O'Brien's works. So, I was psyched, so psyched. This kind of thing is super trippy, wild, um, hallucinogenic, maybe a crime thriller kind of thing. I don't really know what to expect with Flann O'Brien, but I think I'm gonna read the third Policeman first, so I'll give you the back of it. The Third Policeman is Flann O'Brien's brilliant comic novel about the nature of time, death, and existence. Told by a narrator who has committed a botched robbery and a brutal murder, the novel follows him and his adventures in a two-dimensional police station where the theories of the scientist philosopher de Selby he is introduced to atomic theory and its relation to bicycles, the existence of eternity, which turns out to be just down the road, and de Selby's view that the earth is not round, but sausage shaped. With the help of his newly found soul named Joe, he grapples with the riddles and contradictions that three eccentric policemen present to him. So, I get a sense of absurdity, Douglas Adams, maybe something like this. I really don't know what to expect with Flann O'Brien, because the stuff just sounds so weird and outlandish, right? And I did hear something about the dimensions of that. This is in a two-dimensional world. So I got, of course, ideas and thoughts of Flatland and how things were presented in in Flatland, something like that, right? So I think I think I'm gonna go with that one first. But At Swim Two Birds, I mean, looks great. I've heard awesome things about it, and the people that have read have read O'Brien, Flann O'Brien, say, you just got to read them. It's great. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Book Nick. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, dude, you want to get into it. Okay. So at Swim Two Birds, since y'all are definitely getting it. Yeah. Right on, Jack. Happy Friday, brother. Happy Friday. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Jeremy Fee. For sure. Happy Friday, brother. Thanks for coming by. I think I saw you earlier, but I didn't call you out. Sorry to not say hey when you got in because I did see, but maybe it was just moving too fast or something. Yeah. This is I mean, yeah, triangles are dangerous in flatland. That's right. They'll poke you. And the women are even more dangerous. They're just lines, right? Wild. Okay. So at Swim Two Birds, I'll give you the back of this one since y'all seem to be really digging. Wow, what is it doing with this cover? I see some glitchy stuff going on with the cover. Um, at Swim Two Birds, along with one or two books by James Joyce, Flann O'Brien's At Swim with Two Birds is the most famous and infamous of Irish novels published in the 20th century. The story of an Irish college student who half half to amuse himself and half to avoid work writes an irreverent novel about the figures of Irish myth and legend in which characters come to life and riot against their author. At Swim is a wildly comic send up of Irish literature and culture. So, I mean, it's expansive. It's experimental. There's, you know, who knows? Even when you hear it, it's like, okay, it sounds really interesting, but I still don't know what it's really about. But at least that one you can kind of imagine some Irish culture, um, maybe playing on some of the stories, turning them around, this kind of thing, right? Hey, James Humphreys, happy Friday, bro. Yes, dude. It's all good. It's all good, James. James was in Georgia, and we had thrown out an idea of maybe meeting up, but didn't work out. It's all good. It it'll happen when it happens, and I don't worry about it too much. That's for sure. You mean you recommend this one? Immatched, Michael. Michael Immatched. Happy Friday, brother. Nice to see you. Nice. James Joyce makes an appearance. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's do it, Jack. Let's do it, bro. So yeah, the Dalkey Archive. This is the only thing that I owned before. I had just recently acquired it, maybe in the last 3 4 months, and it just kind of sat just over to the side, was staying on the shelf right beside the bed, because I wanted to keep it in my face, because I've heard so many cool things about Flann O'Brien. But haven't cracked it yet. I'm just intimidated by anything that says Tristram Shandy now, right? But yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, Seth. SS in the house. That's right. Happy Friday, brother. Thanks for coming by. Always awesome. So the Dalkey Archive is hailed as the best comic fantasy since Tristram Shandy. Upon its publication in 1964, the Dalkey Archive is Flann O'Brien's fifth and final novel. Or rather, as O'Brien wrote it to his editor, the book is not meant to be a novel or anything of the kind, but a study in derision. Various writers with their styles and sundry modes, the attitudes and cults being the rats in the cage. Among the targets of O'Brien's derision are religiosity, intellectual abstractions, J.W. Dunn's and Albert Einstein's views on time and relativity. I love that. The lives and works of Saint Augustine and James Joyce, and both of whom have speaking parts in the novel. Is it bewildering? Yes. But as O'Brien insists, a measure of bewilderment is part of the job of literature. Um, what a guy. What a writer, right? Set in the late 1940s in the village of Dalkey, somewhere 12 miles south of Dublin, the Dalkey Archive also includes in its cast the mad scientist de Selby, featured in O'Brien's The Third Policeman, the magniloquent Sergeant Fautrell, whose Motley Crue theory holds that a man can turn into a bicycle, and the local Da Vinci, a lauderamon named Teague McGettian, doing his damnedest to find order in the metaphysical chaos, is Mick Shaughnessy, who, with the aid of a strong drink, his friend Hackett, and Mary, the young woman for whom they both compete, undergoes a crisis of faith, both sublime and ridiculous. I mean, like, seriously, right? Right? I mean, everything, it's like that. There you go. That's why I just call him SS and be done with it. I wish, even if I was writing, if I was in the chat, I would just write capital S, and be done with it. Y'all are funny. So yeah, I'm definitely interested in jumping into some Flann O'Brien. Definitely sounds funny, ridiculous, a mind blow. Give you some something to chew on, something to think about, and exploring what literature can do. So I was gonna talk some Cactus boots because, like I said, after you get through a certain point, Cactus boots gets to some really cool territory. So I wanted to invite uh, anybody who would like to jump on from the read along to jump on and talk about it if you'd like. You want to? We can read some, dude. I'm always down, Jack. So I'm gonna post the. I'm gonna post it. Yeah, in the chat. Boom. So I posted the link to StreamYard, and if anybody wants to get on, I think Connor was saying he wanted to get on, and if it's just us, that's totally fine, you know. But I did put it in the Cactus Boots read to see if whoever wanted to talk could. The gold version is the same as the green one. It is the 1 year anniversary, so there was a 100 of these that were printed, and they had released it for the 1 year anniversary of Cactus Boots being uh, published. The paper is really, really nice. Really beautiful, to tell you the truth. And it still has all the same illustrations, everything in the same place, all that as this green copy. But I'm actually reading through my gold copy because my green copy is a first, like the very first edition. And that very first edition has been revised, gone through and spell checked even more, or grammatical, or even structural things. Not much, but enough that I wanted to get the newer formatting, all that kind of thing. So I'm reading the gold. Very cool, Michael. Very cool. If you when you get to it, I mean, really, this book flies. It's an amazing read. So when you get to it, if you want to read it, just hit me up. Let me know. Connor, you take your time, bro. You take your time, bro. Nice. Yeah, Connor, you can sit in the dark. Ah, too fun. I think that I think my boy Quentin there just read Manifold Destiny of Eddie Vegas, right? But hasn't read Cult of the Cactus Boots yet. All right. So I'll show another book because I got some really cool stuff, not just 1,000 Cranes. I'm gonna read this sooner than later. Okay, I mean I'm gonna read this. You can only get Cactus Boots from the press, of course. That's the only person selling it, and they print it themselves. They don't have any distribution, bro. Uh, Coronasamas.press sells it direct. That's right. There's options. That's what they're saying. So this is gonna be read soon. I mean, it's so short, and with Quentin really loving it, and I'm really just in the mood. Genji is really putting me in the mood for some Japanese literature, right? And give me all different time periods, right? Because Kawabata is like, a 1,000 years after Tale of Genji, right? Oh, yeah, very cool, Jack. Thanks for the praise. I mean, the more people say it's great, the higher it just goes up on the TBR, right? And then I'm just gonna end up reading it, when I'm saying I'm gonna read something else, I'm sure. Yeah, you should just read it. You should just read it, bro. Manifold Destiny of Eddie Vegas is a great book. It has some amazing word play and poetry. That the prose and poetry is mixed the way that it is. It's unbelievable. Hey,
Noah,
brother.
what's up?
Nice to see you, Connor.
I know, for real.
Yeah, heck yeah. All right. So, hey, dude, it's not too dark.
Dude, I've been trying to find a light up here. It's
Dude,
my parents' second home on the Cape in Massachusetts.
nice.
So
You
yeah,
should
it's been a
see. You
struggle.
should see. Sometimes when I get Phil on, uh, you know, Cult of the Cactus Boots guy.
Yeah,
When
right
I
here.
got him on before, he'll turn on, be on the StreamYard and be just in the dark. I'm like, Phil, like, dude,
Yeah,
we can't do it. We can't do it like this, bro.
dude, it's been a journey for sure.
Can I link where you can get Corona Summons stuff? Because that is www.coronasamas.com. And I just put it in the chat. That's where you go.
Yep.
Very cool, man. Seeing Jack is saying Snow Country. Have you ever read any Kawabata,
Me?
Connor? Yeah.
Nah.
No.
Nah.
Yeah.
A little bit of what's his name? I can't think. Give me a second. That'll come to me.
All good. All good. Yeah.
No, but I found your channel because it was like last year, and my cousin's like an English teacher, so like he was like recommending a bunch of like writers, and he was like, "Yo, you got to check out Flannery O'Connor." So I like read a bunch of Flannery
Nice.
O'Connor, and I like for some reason I was like, "Oh, like I understood like what she was talking about, and like she's like big into like obviously it's like Southern Gothic and
Yeah.
it's biblical." So I just looked it up, and like you were talking about it, and that's
Cool.
how like I got into it and
Cool.
got in the conversation. That's why I got into like Corona Samazad and like talking to like Rick and Phil and everyone though.
Very cool. And then got into the Cactus Boost read. And if you've been following, most of the people here are part of my live, supporters that are
Yeah,
here
no,
on the
I
night.
mean
So
like it's like
Connor's the winner, man. Connor's the one that won the gold
yeah,
Cactus Boots.
no, like I mean it's been a journey just because like everyone's been saying. I mean it's like a different reading experience. something like I haven't experienced before. Like I started like reading like I don't know like actual literature probably like the last 4 years, reading
Yeah,
like Thomas Pynchon, Cormac McCarthy type stuff. I kind of just like Google searched one day because like I was just bored. Like in my undergraduate career, I was just like, oh, like what's the most challenging book you could possibly read?
nice.
And I just it was like Blood Meridian, and I just like dove right into it. Like that was like one of the top ones, and so
Yeah,
yeah, it's probably one of my like favorite books. And then I just kind of
nice.
went from there, went to Thomas Pynchon, and
Yeah,
that way.
you're in good company here like that. Then when it comes
Yeah,
down to it, Cactus Boots and these kind of books have that allure, right?
yeah,
Where
no, I
they
figured
have a lot to them. Where it's a challenge. Like when you're looking at it, you're like, yeah, I want that. Yeah,
yeah,
stretch my mind.
yeah.
So you're a bit farther than me. I don't want to talk about anything past where it goes to part two. All right.
Yeah, I was about to say about the part I forget his name, but it was a couple weeks ago. The individual who designed like your channel background, he talked about the quote that like resonated with him, and I feel like it resonates with like anyone who reads the book. And I usually like whenever I read a book and I do like a review,
Yeah.
I don't like do it on YouTube or anything, but I'll like put it on Goodreads or whatever, and I'll say like, would I recommend this book to a friend? And this book, I like so far, even though I'm like not even halfway done, I would recommend to like everyone. Like it's
Yeah.
just like, so relatable. I feel like it's just like you were saying and like Phil was saying, like everyone's just on their self. Like if you go to New York City, Atlanta, whatever, like
Yeah.
people are just on their cell phones and like
Yeah.
looking at screens. Like
Yeah. So the analog works so well. That is used in Cactus Boots of dystopian America, especially
yeah, I got
in
that.
2020, where you have King Ralph
Yep.
mixed with Donald Trump,
Yep.
President Trump over here, running the country, but in the most extreme way. No tact to what they're doing as what agenda they want to push forth on the public, and they're full steam ahead with it. And the only way to combat it is to kind of go underground, right?
Yeah, no, like I
And
like
and
the
so
whole.
you've been off to the races with the read faster than pretty much anybody else.
I mean, I try. I mean, I've been pretty busy.
What's your impressions? Of go ahead, like just kind of even you know there's a historical aspect in this mythology that's being built up with
For
Gunter
sure.
Albatross Plato and this whole uh, kind of fight between control structure and creativity,
Yeah.
even from the inception of the country.
Yeah, I mean, like I take it as like almost like a philosophical approach. So when I was in school, like I actually like I like managed it. I mean, I majored in like sport management, but the teacher was like big into like meditation and mindfulness, and we read this book that I forget the name of it, but it was big into like you have to like avoid the noise that's going on around you, like whatever you're doing, whether you're working on a project or you're an artist and you're working on like whatever, or you're a writer, you have to like avoid the noise all around you and your
Yeah,
phone and
you got
kind
to
of like
focus
be
your
with it.
attention.
Right, and I like got that with this book. Like it's almost like you just have to block out the noise, and like
You know
it like resonated with me. It's like almost
that's
like a reassurance.
Yeah, it's great. It's awesome that you say that because there is this kind of thing where this book is really heady and and a wild romps, and you can't get bogged down trying to figure stuff out or put things in their place a lot of times.
Yeah,
But if you go along with it, there's more than enough of these passages where it does break the where the book is directly to you as a
yeah.
reader, and
I
it
mean,
is
I
speaking
also
to you, and it is grounding you in the what really matters, what really
right.
matters right now, and
Yep.
that turns out to be your own creative potential.
Yeah, it's almost like I mean, I was big into like all those dystopian books. Like I don't know. I guess like stereotypically, like you could say like 1984, Brave New World.
Sure.
Um, and I feel like it's almost like full throttle. Like Phil and Jeff and Rick are kind of just like putting you into it.
Oh yeah.
And like the
So
part I got to where they were just talking about like, you know, uh, it was pretty much like, like you're on this journey with us. You might be on your next paycheck, or you have anxiety, or worried about your weight, or worried about whatever. But it's like all this will be cured if you join the cult of the cactus boots. And like when I read that, I was talking to my girlfriend about it. I was like, this is already like an incredible book. Like I feel like it's just like on top of it being like this like dystopian fictional journey, it's almost like a self-help book. It's almost like you kind of have to just base your like
right.
on top of just like it being like a fictional masterpiece. It's almost like you have to just, I don't know, just learn from just not being on your phone. And I just take it as almost like you don't have to be like a writer or an artist. It's almost like you just have to just avoid tech, like Phil even said, like technology.
It's not so much a, I mean, it is a war. There is a war and a conflict set up between technology and,
Yeah, I mean, like
your own
I
creativity.
remember Phil saying that like you can use technology to your own advantage. I mean, you can use it as like an educational basis, but like, I mean, I feel like all of us are prone to just being on your phone and maybe like getting caught and just watching like I don't know YouTube shorts or whatever. So I feel like this book just enhances like, hey, like just focus on what you want to accomplish. I feel like all that stuff like YouTube or being on your phone 24/7 is just like bogging you down. And
For
like I
sure.
enjoy that because I agree wholeheartedly. Like I said before, if you go to like any major city, you go on a train, you go on a bus, whatever, people are
For
just
sure.
locked into their phones. So I
Yeah.
feel like this book just kind of enhanced that like knowledge.
Yeah. And it's doing that kind of thing on purpose because it's very smart the way that's done. Let me say hey to people before we keep going. Hey, baby,
Yeah, sorry.
Emily's in the house, and let me get through the chat. Don't want to fall behind too much.
Yeah, no worries.
So Jack did uh, discover my channel through my Harlequin romance playlist. It's since been deleted. Okay, it's been made private. Okay, if y'all want it, you have to private message me. I don't recommend it. Yeah. Hey, thanks, Marcel. Happy Friday. Donahue has a G in it. SS. You're gonna hurt his feelings if you spell his name wrong. James Humphreys in the house. Yeah, right. Um, my pension vids do very well for the channel. They bring a lot of people. Hyperion, Endymion. That exploration always has legs. So
Yeah, I
people
read
finding.
Inherent Vice. That was the first one. But it was funny because like I went on like an exploratory journey with Pinchon just because he's so reclusive. Like I would like look up like YouTube videos like back in the day of like there's like this one BBC one where this guy like tries to go and find him, which I just think is like terrible because like the guy just wants to be left alone.
Right.
And I don't know, like it's like meeting your favorite athlete or favorite musician. You don't know, like
Right.
yeah, I love like whoever, but you don't know how they
Yeah.
are.
I hear he has a. I mean, it's probably just like a walk by extra part, some kind of a walkthrough.
Oh,
But
in
I hear he's
in
on.
the actual movie,
I hear he's in Inherent Vice.
yeah. I
Yeah.
saw that in theaters before I even read the book, and I didn't think
Yeah.
anything of it. I didn't even know that like Thomas. It was
Wow.
years ago, and I
Yeah.
didn't even know Thomas Pynchon even wrote it.
Nice.
And then like when I was like Google, like I told you, I've always been like an avid reader, and then one day I was just like hardest books ever. Like let's go, let's just
Yeah.
go into it. And I like read Blood Meridian, and then the next one was like, oh, you got to get into Thomas Pynchon. And I read Inherent Vice, which I thought was very
Nice.
good.
Yeah.
And then I tried
What a romp.
V. I tried V, and like I was just like, this is completely like I wasn't big into like metafiction or any of
Yeah.
that.
I don't
So
I don't I don't I don't recommend V too much. It's so
no,
funny because these older videos that have legs like that, they constantly get some views, and they will get comments sometimes. And I
Yeah.
had somebody on my Thomas Pynchon video. I mean, it's been up over a year, maybe 2 years, and it's you know, I mean, there's so many comments there that people can just kind of, you can see so much conversation that has happened.
Yeah.
And this guy just lays into me, like lays into me in the comments, and just like how I'm wrong about, what I said or something.
Yeah,
And,
no, I
and
mean, it's definitely
I'm
like
just like, wow, like,
that's that's the thing with like postmodern literature. I feel like there's a lot of people like that, unfortunately. Like
well,
I
I
don't
mean,
mean to
everybody's
throw
got an
everyone
opinion,
under the
that's for sure.
bus,
Hey, Mark, happy Friday. Thanks for coming by. Hope
but
Deb
yeah,
is hanging out too. Happy Friday, Deb.
I guess
Very
like
cool.
this year, I mean, I finished like Flannery O'Connor, and
Yeah. Did you read
I
Wise
read
Blood?
like, I'm sorry.
You read Wise Blood?
Yes, I
Did you
loved it.
read The Violent Buried Away?
Yep.
Oh my God. See,
It's funny because
I know
like
you're
I'll
in now.
watch TV shows or like movies or whatever, and it's almost like people steal stuff from Flannery, and I get
Sure,
pissed off.
sure.
But
Especially when you want just like a southern image that is really, kind of steeped. Her
yeah,
stuff was so uh dense, the imagery is so densely packed.
well,
Oh, but let's keep it on Cactus Boots. I want to
okay.
talk. I want to see if we can get somewhere, and we don't have too much longer to go to try to get
Sure.
there. I
Yeah, just
want to see.
ask me whatever. Ask
I
me
want to
whatever.
see if we can kind of um point to a scene and a section that is completely mind blowing and an amazing example of what metafiction is, what people mean when they say that,
Yeah,
because it's something done unlike I've ever come in contact with, and I love experimental literature.
yeah, I do too. It's
So,
it's just interesting.
of
I
course,
like
I'm talking about the scene where Philip and Jeff, and I mean the Philip and Jeff of the book, get caught in their office and are unable to leave
yeah,
because the book is now their reality,
right.
and they
And
have
it's like blocked.
they are, everything is words, and they
Right.
are in the book that you're reading, and then it's fully there. And do you want to say something about it before I keep going on? I'm just going to get deeper and deeper every time
I mean,
I
I was
talk.
just gonna say like I've always just been into like I feel like just regular narratives are boring. So like this is kind of just
Yeah,
putting into overdrive, just
this is
metafiction
definitely not
organized.
your regular narrative.
Oh, I love it. I think it's great. Like like I feel like every book, there could be like kind of like it could be like a drag, but this one, like I'm just always on my feet. It's almost like I'm always eager to read whatever it is. I mean, it's just amazing. Like that
Yeah,
part I was talking about earlier, where it's like pure metafiction when he kind of when Phil kind of brings you in, and he's
right.
just like he's talking about like all your qualms and all your worries, like it'll be washed away if you join the cult of the
Right.
cactus. I literally got. I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but I literally got to like the point where they're about to go on the journey into the world, into the
Sure.
word tunnels.
Yeah. That's the beginning of the second part, is into the word tunnels. So they, their setting changes, or does it? Because what happens is in the book, the characters in the book are made aware that they're in the book,
Yeah,
and they see it, and their hands, the
and I
hand
think
are words, the word hands, the fingers are the word finger, the door is the word door, so they can't open the door and they
yeah,
can't do anything unless the book is doing it. So they have this kind of very scary moment. It is a scary thing, and you're in this moment with them, and it is a fearful thing, even though as a reader it's just completely exhilarating,
yeah.
because you're like, what is happening, how is
And
this
then
happening?
there's also a point where like they think that like they're like conjured from Rick, like that like Rick's actually writing the story, and
Right.
like their characters in like Rick's book, which I find like hilarious. Like I find that like interesting.
Yeah, it works on so many levels.
Yeah, it's
So
awesome.
at the point at some point in that scene there, when they are trying to get out of this room, and they start tearing back through words and pages.
Yeah.
The scene opens up, the book opens up as a book is opened,
Yeah.
and their setting is opened up, and eyes are looking down at them, the eyes of the readers.
Yeah, the eyes of the reader, and then the
And
movement.
there's a screen, but they don't see the screen. They're behind the screen. They're looking through it, and outside is an alien race enjoying watching
Yeah.
what they're doing. And we find, and this is explained as an alter, another dimension, perhaps.
Yeah.
But in any rate, the timelines is something to work out, because they have made a movie about the book that Philip Friedenberg must write, which is the
Yeah.
book that we're reading right now. So it's a book about writing the book that you're reading
Right.
while waiting for another book to arrive in the mail.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the book now, by the time where you're at, is has a mind of its own, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And even Philip and Jeff are not in control of that.
No, they're just kind of like bracing themselves. Like they admitted like everything around them is very strange and weird, and the TIC, I think they refer to, will catch up to them anyway. So they're just like, why don't we just go on this trek? Like,
Yeah.
let's just do it.
They're
our
just
life is just weird as it is. Let's just go through it.
Well, it's almost, things are so bad and so desperate in America in the cult of the cactus boots that they almost don't have any better option no matter what it is. They're presented with this quest and to go on it, and there's absolutely no reason to say no. They're sleeping in their office, eating what little bit of food they have,
Right.
constantly under fear of being nailed for printing something contraband, right? Helping the Hive Mind Gazette out and such.
Yeah.
So we're really off to the races with America and the Cult of the Cactus Boots. Right where we're at right now, that's right where everybody, where I want everybody to be. And then because if at this point you're like, wow, this is a bit much, I really don't know if I can, I can't really follow, and this is not my thing, you're not going to like the rest of it either.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
if
I
you
mean,
first
I enjoy
100 130 pages, that's what you need, right?
I mean, I'm at like 220, and I feel like I'm like on the top of the roller coaster going down now.
Oh,
as
you
they
are,
go into the word tunnels.
bro. I know what's coming. I know it's coming.
It's just like,
It's awesome.
I mean, if you don't understand like metafiction or just like not your simple narratives, I definitely think it's not for you. But I don't know if you're in for like an experience and a book that like you can cater to yourself. I would definitely like recommend it. I think
It's great.
it's so
Especially
it's relatable to like whatever background you're from.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
because if you like a lot of different ideas, and especially synthesizing ideas and these kind of things, that's what Philip is doing. He's building this grand kind of mythology. Slimy
Yeah.
Barefoot. Slimy Barefoot is like this mythological god creature or something. This kind of elemental power or something, right?
Yeah, flying
That
in
comes.
with the Chinese takeout.
Yeah. And so there's this mythos built with Gunter Albatross Plato, right?
Yeah.
Gunter Albatross Plato is my man.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And so yeah, all hail Calcaltalim. Thank you very much for being on, Connor.
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate it. I've always wanted to be on here, so
I tell you, I love the group read so far. It only gets better, and it's such high energy. I can't wait to see conversation, just and what people come up with, how people are affecting, or how it is affecting people, because it definitely had a grand effect on me as a reader.
it's definitely one of those books where you can interpret it however you please. You
Yeah,
know,
buddy.
I
Yeah,
could
and
interpret it a
you
different way
can.
than you could.
You can take it however you please. There's so much there. Some people will relate to the Philip K. Dick insanity
Yeah,
dystopian sci-fi.
yeah.
Some people
I've
will,
read some Philip K. Dick for sure.
yeah, and some people will relate to, a little more of the historical cultural mythos and this whole kind of thing maybe.
Yeah, it's
Some people
definitely
love
interesting.
the kind of sci-fi, out of the box forward explorations. I mean, there's a whole lot here. So
Yeah,
it really, there's something there for everybody. And it is something where you can kind of, you don't need to uh, internalize every bit of it. You can really enjoy yourself going through it, and it just enriches a lot of different aspects of your thinking.
yeah. I mean, you just gotta keep an open mind and just keep plugging along in the book.
Yeah. It definitely has its own momentum, and we're right there now. Very cool, Mark. I haven't checked out the Sandman series that they made. I would like to reread the Sandman before I watch it though, because I used to love that graphic novel, and it's been way too long since I read it for me to really. It's like short stories, It's like a bunch of
Okay.
different stories. So
Nice.
I can't remember
No, I mean like
most
the
of them.
only yeah, I mean the only like graphic novel I've read recently was I mean the last couple years was Watchmen, which you've
Yeah.
talked about Alan Moore, like you're a big Alan Moore fan, so
I didn't realize how much of an Alan Moore fan I was. I was an Alan Moore fan as far as like Watchmen and V for Vendetta, things like
yeah.
that. But when I read Jerusalem for the Big Book Takeover that last year,
Yep.
Jerusalem, it's my favorite novel of all time. It's
Nice.
amazing. It's just completely awesome.
Yeah, I'll have to
And
check
and
it out.
this and see, it's like Cactus Boots is like this too, where the feel of the book, the how it presses, I want to say, it feels it's a cool book. It feels like, it's something that I really resonate with, and I'm like, yes, let's
Yeah.
go with this. Alan Moore's like that. It's really cool. And not pulling any punches. This kind of thing. I love that stuff.
Yeah,
Love it.
for sure.
Come on, Mark. Get with it, Mark. I'm just playing. You take your
No, I
time,
have to
brother.
it's definitely on my TBR. I just have too much to read.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. There's always a lot on our TBRs if you're watching BookTube, right, guys? Um, Marcel says Cactus Boots kind of sounds like art form by Cesar Aria. I'm not sure. I
Yeah,
might check it out. It
I've
has
never
been
explored that.
intimidating me all year. And there we go. A conversation by Cesar Aria was also a wild ride. So, I mean, the the energy level of Cactus Boots, I'm never going to be able to. Like I said in reviews and other content that I've made on it, I can't overhype this book. I can't say it's going to build you up and have you really wanting to read that kind of thing,
Yeah.
and it not deliver. It's going to deliver. It's going to over deliver, because this is what it was meant to do. This is what Philip did with it. It is, like you were saying, Connor, a fight against the complacency of just letting technology give us our entertainment and feed us.
Right.
Cactus Boots is as much of a game with between author and reader as it is, a book.
I mean, like, I'm big into like mindfulness,
Yeah.
meditation, things like that. And I mean, it was a big thing in college too, where it was like you kind of have to be cognizant of like social media use, everything like
Yeah.
that. I
Right.
feel like this book is like a big backbone on that. Just, making
There's
sure that like you're being creative, being intellectual instead of just like, mindlessly like Philip said too, like it's give and take. Like you can go on YouTube, you can go on Instagram and use that for like a creative or intellectual source. But
right.
I feel like most of the time that like like myself included, you could just be mindlessly just droning on, looking up like I don't know SNL
Right.
clips or whatever on YouTube.
Right. Right. And just wasting time and
Right.
wasting, for sure. And everybody does that. It's very relatable. Um, the scary thing is that the system, the actual system of our world, and the system in America and the culture of cactus boots, of course, they want that.
Yeah.
They want everybody doing that. They want everybody, distracted. And why? Why wouldn't they want people capable, more capable, right? All
Yeah.
right, we'll leave it there for now. We're gonna go keep going through America and the Cult of the Cactus Boots. We've hit an hour. Thank you, Connor, for
No
coming on.
problem.
You're a cool bro.
Dude, I love your channel. Love everything about it. When I discovered it, great stuff.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Catch you on
everything
the
about it.
flip. I appreciate you and all the core supporters. Thank you guys. Happy Friday. And we'll catch you on the flip side. Bye bye.
Bye.